story starts.
January 1st, 1965 in St. Catharines, Ontario. That's where I was born.
Okay.
My mother and my birth mother and my birth father were working on the farms down there. And that's the place that most of my brothers and sisters were born. And when the family started to break down due to my father's and mother's alcoholic tendencies, we went to Christian Island and we stayed there for a little bit, and then we were turned over to CAS.
What's CAS?
Children's Aid Society.
Children's Aid Society.
Yeah.
And what's your parents' connection with this area, or is there one?
Well, my birth parents are status from Beausoleil First Nations, and that's where they took us when the family dynamics started to fall apart. We all went to Christian Island, Beausoleil First Nations, and it was there that we that Children's Aid Society came and got us from there.
The reason I'm asking is I was just wondering what the connection was with your parents and Christian Island. If besides them being status, did they have family there? Or?
Oh yeah, when you're status from a reserve, that's where all your family is. Like all my family, immediate family, all my extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins, everything.
Right.
Except for my mother. My mother was born a Toby, so her family was. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I thought I turned it off.
Modern technology.
I'm sorry.
No worries. So your mother was, you said, a Toby?
Yeah.
That's a nation from which?
No, her father was King, Matthew King, one of the original King families that made the trek to Coldwater. And then her father was Matthew King. And then they were from Coldwater. When they eventually ended up on Christian Island, my grandfather, Matthew King, was the only one who didn't sign his treaty papers because he believed that you can't tell a man that belonged to all of creation to only come from one area. So he had property in 3 other different reserves, and they took all that away because he wouldn't sign his treaty papers, saying that he came from Beausoleil First Nation.
So you said they made the trek from
his father and his father's brothers made the trek to Coldwater.
From where?
From Wisconsin.
Oh, so they came up from the States. Okay.
So they're an original Beausoleil family from Wisconsin.
And if I understand correctly from the First Nations teachings that I've had, nobody owns land.
No. That's a white man's. That's a white man's ideology, because even though they own a piece of paper saying they own the land, they don't own the land.
Right.
But we believe that because their minds are smaller, right? They really buy into that belief that they own something, right? But we don't. We know that we're connected to all things in creation.
Yeah.
We don't. Where we walk, wherever we're standing, wherever we're sitting, that's the place where we are. That's the place where we belong to. Although we do, because the federal government has limited us to certain spaces, and these spaces that the federal government limited us to were not meant for us to prosper, and we know that from our own journey.